Indeed, next Monday's presidential debate could be the most watched ever, and there may never have been more pressure on the moderator than this time. There has been a raging argument about the proper role of the moderator. Some say the moderator should be unobtrusive and neutral, leaving the candidates to fact-check each other. Others, as you heard there, are calling for a more activist moderator. For more on that whole debate, we're joined by former presidential press secretary Ari Fleischer. Ari, good to see you. Welcome.
Great to be here. Thank you.
So I tend to the old-fashioned view that moderators should try to stay out of the way. Others are saying, look, if you've got one candidate who's up there and he's telling one or she's telling one falsehood after another, it's too much to ask that the other candidate have to clean up all of that. What do you say about
it? It's exactly what you're supposed to ask a candidate to do. This is why it's called a debate, and this is the role of the candidates. And if one candidate is not prepared or is not able to take on the other candidate and have facts and knowledge at his or her disposal, that's their responsibility, and that's the blame that they'll shoulder. The risk for a moderator, if they step in, other than with a factual correction, if Trump says the deficit's $1 trillion, and somebody says, no, it's $600 billion. If they step in to try to put their thumb on the scale of the direction of a debate on something macro without turning it to the other candidate, right, they will play into the polarization of America, and they will have tens of millions of people on both sides of the aisle come down on that moderator.
Well, Candy Crowley had a bad experience when she intervened with Mitt Romney in 2012 and ended up having the facts wrong.
Precisely so.
But if you got the facts right and somebody says, as you suggest, you know, the deficit's whatever it is, and it's wildly out of kilter, the other candidate, you know, my experience with candidates preparing for debates is, yeah, they're going to debate the other candidate, but they've also got a set of things they're trying to get across.
That's right.
And if they have to spend all their time arguing about the alleged errors in the other candidate's presentation, they're going to forfeit some of the opportunities they have to make their points. So doesn't that suggest more responsibility for the moderator?
Absolutely it does. And if you're a moderator, you do not want to have people the next day or that night say this was a debate between Hillary Clinton and the moderator, or a debate between Donald Trump and the moderator. As I said, one thing to give a quick factual burst and then get right back to the debate. It's another if the moderator puts themselves in the position of a referee throwing the flag against one person. So how do you turn to the other candidate?
So how do you draw that line? So suppose well, most of the time when politicians say things that other politicians call lies, it usually turns out that it's a gross exaggeration, that it's hyperbole, that it's a kind of overstatement that's been sort of part of the rough and tumble of politics forever. So how egregious does a factual misstatement have to be worthy of a moderator challenge?
I think if it's quick and factual, and it's like in football, if there's no possible way that it could be anything other than that, irrefutable proof, then the moderator can step in and just say it. But if Hillary says, for example, that I did not send any emails that were marked classified at the time, if I'm the moderator, I don't say to Hillary that
the FBI found otherwise.
James Comey says otherwise. I turn to Donald Trump and I say, she says she didn't send any at the time. Is that what you understand? And then it's up to Trump. Same thing if Donald Trump says that I always opposed the Iraq war from the beginning. The moderator should not say, no, that's not true. According to BuzzFeed, you were on a radio show and you did not. They should turn to Hillary, and it's up to Hillary to make the case. The moderator is going to fall into journalistic quicksand and have the antagonism of the country and diminish the value of a debate if they try to play too heavy a role.
Would you agree that the moderators this year are under more pressure than you've ever seen?
Absolutely. You know, they're under pressure because of what Hillary, I think, tried to do after the previous interview with Matt Lauer, and her supporters and many in the media are trying to raise the heat on the moderators. And because of social media today and just the way the society is, everybody's criticized for everything.
Yeah, well, more people have more of a voice than they've ever had. And I can tell you from the tweets I get from doing this program, they're ready to be as unfriendly as they feel sometimes. All right, always good to see you. Thank you very much.